told you to put the camera on so that they can FOIA our conversation.
Well, I have to do it anyway.
Exactly.
Yep.
But that's what they'll do.
What's going on?
Okay, so we received a resignation from the clerk.
Okay.
We had it at our December 8th meeting.
Okay.
We voted unanimously after that to accept resumes.
Okay.
Those resumes were accepted. We had scheduled a meeting to have those reviewed and to appoint a clerk.
Okay.
Just before that, the supervisor decided to, against our resolution, contact our attorney and make all kinds of allegations, including that it wasn't properly accepted.
Okay.
As the moderator of the meeting, it wasn't properly accepted. So we had deferred and said we will deal with this at our Monday night meeting, which is tonight at 6:30.
Okay.
We contacted legal. Legal reviewed everything that they had access to and advised us to move forward.
Okay.
Advised in email that, there was a question, there was a yes. The motions that took place after that were unanimously approved. They were accepted.
And this is for the resignation
For
part?
the resignation.
Okay.
When you accept a resignation for the clerk, that is also a resignation for the deputy.
Okay.
The next day, the supervisor told the deputy that the resignation had been accepted. I worked with the deputy to get logins, had his keys and the clerk's keys. We moved forward. We accepted resignations. We were communicating with the people to appoint.
Okay.
And he kind of blindsided us with it before the meeting.
Okay.
Misrepresented, in my opinion. We are only open Monday through Thursday. On Friday, he granted access to, as our legal counsel says, private citizens into our office.
This past Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Including sending emails out of the clerk email from the clerk's office on our computer system by the person who is no longer the clerk.
Okay.
Now, I can understand that he might think there's some confusion here. However, we have a meeting tonight to deal with that.
Okay.
He has allowed them access to things they're not supposed to have. This is the second time, well, now today, the third time, I can document of him providing access to private citizens that should not have access to our office. It is a public building, but only during office hours. Private citizens don't get access to our building.
Gotcha.
So this morning, the previous deputy clerk, who's now just a private citizen, has arrived in our office, is accessing our systems per the supervisor's permission.
Okay.
He has given him keys back, which is not authorized by the board.
Okay.
Then a person who is an agitator, I will say, on Facebook, who is working in conjunction with the supervisor who is providing her with internal information so that she can blast everybody online
Okay.
that doesn't agree with the supervisor. She came in this morning. She was provided with documents and was actually in our vault taking pictures. No private citizen gets access to our vault.
Okay.
I can document that as well.
Okay.
So the attorneys had told us if private citizens were granted access to our building, they were to be removed.
Okay. Are they still here at all?
Yes. The one that had access to the vault, which again I have images that I can prove she had access to the vault that was granted to her illegally. Nobody should actually have access to that vault.
Gotcha.
She was in the parking lot for quite some time, probably revealing what she had illegally obtained.
Okay.
So she could post it online.
Has anything been posted yet?
I don't know, because anybody that disagrees with her gets blocked.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm sure it will be. She's received information directly from the supervisor before the board even receives it.
Okay.
However, they are private citizens. This matter will be dealt with at the meeting tonight per our legal counsel, and he is to be removed. They're claiming that he's working on the election. However, there's been no meeting of the election board. I know this because I am required by law to be on it, and the election board has to approve the election workers.
Okay.
That has not been done because, frankly, there were reasons why
Right.
the clerk wasn't doing her job.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he needs to be removed from the office, the gentleman in the clerk's office.
Where is he up
Behind
in the
front
front?
desk, yes.
Do you know what his name is?
Greg Petrum was his name. He also was given keys, and those need to be removed. I know that Troy has been made aware of this. He was made aware of it last week by another board member, and I do believe he was contacted this morning as well.
We have paper here. What was your first name again?
Lori.
Lauren? What's your last name, Lauren?
DeShannon.
A-N-O? Just A-N-O, right?
A-N-O, yep.
And what's your date of birth?
12/25/75.
And you're the treasurer, right?
I am the treasurer. Elected, not appointed. That does make a difference.
Yep. And that guy's name is Greg.
The gentleman that is in the clerk's office is Greg Petrimo. Petrmulx, I believe. Yeah, it's one of those. A little harder to spell.
I've heard that one before. Okay. That's Greg. Okay. So he's just a private citizen, correct?
Yes, he is. And he's been granted keys he's not allowed to have and access he's not allowed to have. And that is per our legal counsel.
Okay.
You want me to give you the information about the person that was given access to the vault?
Yep.
Her name is Lisa. And her last name is Urich, E-U-R-I-C-H. She lives over on 2 Mile.
On 2 Mile. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about how old she is?
I believe she's 62 or 63.
She's about from 2 Mile. She's a private citizen also.
Yes. And there has been documented harassment that's been taking place, and from her and from some other people involved in this situation. The last time they obtained the body cam footage and posted it on YouTube, which they'll do again.
Right.
It was actually because I had called to report harassment by somebody that had been brought in as the deputy supervisor, and he continues to do so online.
Okay.
Continues to harass me, as well as others.
Okay.
And if you would like to talk with another board member, you can
Well, I've got to
validate.
speak with Brad, reference everything. So I'm going to have
Okay.
her there, talk to him. I got to figure this out. And then this is even way above me to figure out. So
Yeah.
I'm going to make a few phone calls after I get done talking with Brad, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Sounds
All
great.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the main thing is you just want him out of here for now.
I want him out of here and I want his keys returned.
Okay.
I should have access.
He's got
Yeah, I actually have video of that. I also have video of them giving her access to the vault that is available.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
You guys are done?
Yeah.
I put my pause in
Yep.
so
Okay.
you guys
Oh,
can talk
yeah.
privately.
Okay.
So you guys are done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank
You're good.
you.
Who's Brad in with right now?
He's right there, Brad.
No, man.
Oh,
Who's that guy?
that's another board member. He's a trustee.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Hello.
So what do I got?
This is even way above me, Brad, so I'm gonna have to figure everything out here. So the complaint came in. Elisa Urich, which is a private citizen, was given access to the vault. And then
She's in the vault?
Greg Bartholomew, who is a private citizen, has keys and also is
He's not a
accessing.
private citizen.
He's not a private citizen.
He's the deputy clerk.
Why is she saying that he's a private citizen? You know, offhand on
Because
that
she
one.
thinks that
It's all
Kayla
debate of our
resigned.
last meeting,
Was it? Okay.
which is being brought up in tonight's meeting.
Right, that's just said
Get it
there was something
resolved.
going on to Bright with
But
tonight's meeting and that.
no
but-
matter what, I want this recorded. I want this stated.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, Trevor, I want to see the state police here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I fully feel that what's happened here is tried to take over the offices here at Clalcollan Township by other officers by creating resolutions that took away statutory duties of the township supervisor and the clerk and hindered bills, which are statutory duty payments, which ultimately the clerk had requested meetings
Yep.
to me when I came back from a hunting trip saying that she needed to pay the bills. I need to. crying in tears because she'd never had to deal with stuff like this. And the same thing happened where Brad Eddy needs to contact attorneys for legal stuff, and I can't legally do that
Gotcha.
because these other 3 trustees hire a law firm without even letting us know, meaning the clerk or the supervisor.
Okay.
And taking away our statutory duties is against a lot of MCLs.
Right.
And I am not going to allow this. I am fully ready to fight this in the court of law, in the court system, in circuit court.
Yep.
We shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
But there was never a legal motion to accept the clerk's resignation.
Okay.
Legal motion means a roll call vote or a all call vote.
Yep.
It never happened.
Okay.
And I have the video on a private citizen's page. Who is that Lisa Urich? But I would like to know that she better not have had access to the vault.
Okay. Because that's what she's claiming is she has a video of her accessing the vault. So that's the main,
Accessing the vault?
right. Gaining
Did you see
access to the
this?
vault.
She was doing something with documents. Well, it's real simple. Just wait a little bit. It'll be on Facebook, and then you know that the access would happen.
Right. And now we got a different situation all in and of itself.
So
So,
she was in here? I never seen her.
Yeah, Lisa was here this morning.
yep.
She was here. She was given copies of documents, and she was taking pictures of documents.
Gotcha.
Which,
That I
by
know.
law, we have to provide 4 hours
Right.
a day
Yep.
Yeah.
for viewing of documents.
Right.
But I didn't know she was here this morning.
Gotcha.
I never seen her. Who did this with her?
That I didn't get. She just said that she's seen her inside the vault. So,
Because nobody came into my office asking
Nobody-
me anything.
okay. Which I'm still trying to dig in. My only
Um,
question is, though, is like you said with the state, do you want me to back out of this?
It'd be Greg.
Um,
Greg is the only. I don't have a key to the vault. You, Lori, and if they
Well-
didn't turn their keys in,
well,
then
there's a lot of keys in that room. I gave Greg a key to
Oh.
the deputy.
I'm
to
just.
the-
I'm just saying.
I gave, and here you can even turn that my way if you wish. I gave Greg a key back to his office
Okay.
after Kayla rescinded her resignation.
Okay.
Okay, and that
He
is
used to be in there then.
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Because
How's this?
what she said, and I don't know all the rules with it all, and that's why I'm just trying to figure.
Trevor, I'm gonna lay something down here, and I want you to just take this in because I'm gonna FOIA all of this, and I'm gonna be bringing this into the court system.
Yep.
So, on December 8th, Kayla Schlander brought her resignation in here under duress and hostile conditions that had been occurring in the office. The main thing is the treasurer's office that she hired a deputy treasurer on October 9th. After October 9th happened, a lot of stuff happened here at the township that went against the supervisor and the clerk. This all had to do with Mr. Eddy bringing up a popcorn situation where Mr. Shano donated popcorn that Calhoun Township bought at the expense of the citizens of the township. And she donated it to Republican Party of Bay County and distributed it at the Bay County Fairgrounds like it was their own. I have a problem with that as a township supervisor. Whenever it comes to legal boundaries, that is my job to find out. When it comes to legal boundaries, I look at many different items here. When it comes to the clerk position,
Okay, I can't speak right now.
when it comes to the clerk position, the clerk was clear that she was under duress here in her letter. I can tell you this, the clerk has a passion for Calhoun Township and what she does here for it. When somebody's hands are tied to do their duties, it falls under a pretense that you can't do what you're paid to do. Now, that is true in my situation too. Do I think that the resolutions that were created to do this are fair? 100% not. The only thing that I can say is if those people were in our shoes, they would hate to be in that position, the ones who voted for it. When it comes to the treasurer, creating these problems. I believe she is one who crafted these. I believe. She modified minutes from the looks of it, from many meetings. I've been accepting these changes that she's been doing, but now I know they're all to create a narrative for her. There is multiple things here that I am not happy about currently, and I did send and included Troy Cunningham, our sheriff, on an email at 2 a.m. this morning, because I'm trying to make sure that people understand what a vote is in a meeting, a motion, and what clarity is of a motion. The treasurer made a motion to accept the resignation of the clerk without the wording of the resignation. Due to the conflicts of having an attorney not at my able to call without another trustee, sometimes this interferes with my duties. When it comes to that, I called the MTA, Michigan Townships Association. I spoke with 2 different attorneys who said that the wording of the motion made no sense. If you're going to pull all the wording out, why would you pull the wording out? Because it's factual? Maybe. Because it might point a finger at who caused the clerk to have these feelings to resign? Maybe. But the clerk herself can answer that, and she is the clerk, and she will be, and I will stand by that. When it comes to the stuff that goes on in the treasurer's office, I am not a fan of people interfering with each other's statutory duties. Me and Reverend Trustee Campbell were just talking about that. There's supposed to be an agree to disagree here in politics. Now, that has went by the wayside. Somebody wants to, I feel, control this entire office, the entire operation. If they get rid of the clerk, they get rid of the supervisor, they get rid of the zoning administrator, they get rid of everybody, then they have control. It's not the way a township's supposed to be. We're not supposed to control. If you ask any member of our planning commission, Brad Eddy does not want to control one of them. I want independent minds. If you were to ask any board member, I want independent minds. If you were to ask any of the ZBA members, I want independent minds. I do not ever want to control the thoughts or narratives of the people or employees of Calhoun Township. Nor have I ever tried to get any employees here to go against the treasurer, to go against Trustee Campbell, to go against Trustee Whalen. I have never tried to do any of that. But the accusations of it are far, far that I have. Even to the point where in the last time that I believe one of your other deputies were here due to a business card, a failure, the written failure on it. I do not agree with the failure in a business card and a door. I do not believe in anything of that sort. But the treasurer made statements in that said the attorney and the supervisor were against him, and that Mr. Eddy was a narcissist. Well, my belief is that treasurer needs to look in the mirror to see who the narcissist is. I care about our fire department, I care about our community, and I care about moving on and forward with things. When I see bias, I see a huge amount of bias right now, and I'm not about that. We were just talking about unity, me and Reverend Campbell. We should agree to disagree. That's the biggest thing in life and in politics right now. But to say that we don't have a clerk, I will fight that all the way. I feel that we have a private citizen who runs a Facebook page who is very vocal about, and I have never said anything good about the negativity on the page, but it is her page, it is not my page. I even expressed stuff to Reverend Campbell, who came in this weekend saying that he felt defamed of some of the items she was posting, which I still have yet to even look at the page to know any of this. Now, do people call me and tell me? He's the only one who has called me and told me about anything that's been posted in the last few days. But did I tell him I agree with anything to do with that? I totally told him I disagree with anything of that negativity of any sort. I care about unity, and I mean that. Now, when it comes to people utilizing things in this township, there's township trustees who use private emails. There's trustees who use government emails where they work at in other jurisdictions. We are assigned emails to use to solicit bids in township business, and I believe that's the only emails that should be used. Now, I have talked with attorneys about that, and they said the same thing. We should only be utilizing township stuff so that that's transparent. If there is something I am going to tell you I do, I am transparent. I would really love it if we could be transparent about everything. So when I do believe the state police are the ones who should be involved in this investigation and make sure that the treasurer is looked into for what I believe is stuff that's going against the relationships of the people and trying to divide. We need to unite. There's certain things and stuff that's happened where I actually talked to people at the person where she used to work, and this kind of atmosphere is common with the treasurer, and I'm not a fan of people disrupting peace. As a peace officer, you know that sometimes you're not out to prosecute people or get people into harm's way. You're just out to make peace between people. That's what we try to do here at Coquitlam Township. And some people don't want peace. And I am a firm believer in peace. Me and Reverend Campbell just went through some of the items that he's referenced. We've had way more good conversations than we have bad. But when you bypass an office to simply go and talk to one person rather than talking to all, that's where division comes in. And that's what's happened here. You have two trustees and a treasurer who have literally took statutory duties away from the operations of very important positions. And that is where I feel things need to change. And I do feel we have a clerk. I am prepared to face that in a court of law, 100%. So with that statement, I want everybody to who sees this to understand that the sheriff's department, for one thing, does have conflicts of interest in some of this because you are a contractor with the township. Now, Ms. DeShano has went to people that have conflicts, like yourselves. The state police are the ones who should be called. The state police should be the ones who follow through with this. But changing the narratives on township board minutes, even if they're a draft, is not her job. She never went through them with me. There's an agenda that didn't show a clerk needed to be appointed anymore. And then all of a sudden, they whipped one up. Who's they? I feel there's two trustees and a treasurer that know how the agenda got whipped up. But there's a supervisor who hasn't seen any of it. So does that disturb me? As the top legal agent of the township, I am disturbed by the actions of all of these people. All of them. Because I am here for the people. And that's how they should be too. And I'm not going to stand for it. I think that there can be some people coming together to change things, but I will not do unethical things. I witnessed yesterday going through some emails where Trustee Whalen used his email, his Saginaw work email, to solicit Facebook contract with his wife for Coquitlam Township. Do I feel that's legal? I don't feel it's right. I don't. I have a problem with that. If there's ethics, that's what I'm supposed to look into. If I'm supposed to talk to an attorney, whether it's Reverend Campbell's got a complaint on him, I go to the attorney. It's not to go against him. It's trying to make sure that everything's done fairly. But when you come after me to take those duties away that I'm supposed to, you're opening the township up for liability, and that's what's happened since these things have came up. It's no different with the crematorium. Our past attorney was the one working on the crematorium. Then they get rid of that attorney. Wow, what do I do when we're on the news? Wow, what do I do? Well, that seems like a setup. It seems like it. That's my opinion. I get a call when I'm on my way back about this crematorium and News 5 showing up. And that News 5 wants to do an interview. Well, News 5 called, and our clerk is standing right next to Reverend Campbell. WNEM 5 calls. Well, she said, Dennis is out here and he can talk to him, but Charlie just said, no, he's not talking to WNEM. And I have those text messages. That disturbs me. Dennis Finn is the one who is the zoning administrator who was allowing the use to be put into a special use situation. When it comes to that, who are we interviewing? I got here, I was interviewed afterwards, after Reverend Campbell did his interview. I watched his interview, I respect his interview. But when it comes down to it, Dennis Finn was the one who made the permit choices, and he should have been able to explain his views on why we are in the situation we're in. Most of all, we should be able to talk to the attorney who stopped the building permit. When the building permit was created, it was based on an old site plan. Being a new zoning administrator, Dennis Finn did not catch that old site plan date. So he sent it forward with the building plans to Jay Guston, who works for the city of Saginaw, and he is Brian Whalen, our trustee's boss. So that comes into other issues of incapable offices. Incompatible offices is what it's called. Now, do I know there's many laws that this township's breaking? I do believe that there's many laws from top to bottom that this township has broke. But if the supervisor and the clerk could do their legal and statutory duties, we would not be in the predicaments we are in. And that's what I have to say on the situation. And the treasurer is, in my opinion, nothing less than a bully.
And I broke no law. Because when I did speak to News 5, it was spoke on a neutral ground. And it stated specifically, he brought in a site plan, which News 5 saw, and it was dated 2018. We were having a meeting, and you need to show up if you're for it, and you need to show up if you're against it. It was a neutral statement that was made. It was not for, nor was it against. And legally, when classes were taken after 9/11, they said every group needs a spokesperson that is neutral. If Dennis Finn would have spoke, he would not have been neutral at that time. Because at that time, Dennis felt, hey, there's nothing wrong with what's going on. But the moral of that whole equation was, it was a neutral conference, it's public, anybody can pull that up on WNEM, and I did not endorse, nor did I say any defamation toward the project. I was crystal clear in it, just as we were trained through the chamber when they were talking about what you do and what you don't say. You don't in any way twist for nor against. And I didn't. But it was pointed out to Steve Dennis, I'm a bad guy. I've done something horrific when all I said was point blank period. One, he didn't turn in a current site plan. But I didn't bust chops in the news about any of this. The news went out there. I didn't call them. But everybody believes I'm the one that called them. So that's okay. People can believe what they want. When I see God, I know I did not call them under no condition. Because I believe we could handle it in-house. But you know what? We don't say yes against our ordinances. That's the law. And, when it comes to the law, black is black and white is white.
And when it comes to videos of acceptance of a resignation, black is black and white is white. I'm going to assure you that I've watched the video multiple times on his private citizen's Facebook page, and I never voted for the resignation of the clerk. And I viewed the video, and I would like to know what Mr. Campbell thinks he did on that, on the record.
Tell you what, I listened to a recording and it was an agreement that the resignation was accepted. There was no nays.
Who called the vote, Mr. Campbell? Who called roll call? Who called the vote?
Well, it's simple. The roll call was actually called by Lori. And then it went from Lori with the statement of we're accepting that, then it was backed by Brian Wayland. And
Those were
then
motions.
then it went from that into all of a sudden, this is, I have bullied somebody into resigning, which did not happen.
I want to know the vote, Charlie.
I'm going there. In fact, I can play the recording.
Can we play the video?
You know, recordings are kind of interesting because I know this recording wasn't altered. And I know that that's a four-part video that was put out there. And between each of the parts, who knows what happened. They didn't take an oath to serve this community for the greater good. They can do whatever they want, as you know, because you see that all the time. So, you know, that's where I stand.
So I've watched it, and I do believe that there was no roll call vote at all. I will stand behind that.
No, there was no roll call. It was, did we accept the resume? Yes.
Yep, and you say that you said the words?
In my belief, I believe I did.
Okay. I believe he did not. And I believe that truthfully did not happen after I've watched it at least 10 times.
Okay.
I believe the clerk is the clerk. I believe that you had Mr. Whalen go, yes, with his arms up. I believe the treasurer didn't even say anything. She just shook her head with a nod. And
I did not watch between 4 and 5. I was told it's between 4 and 5.
it's at 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So I am fully supportive of my statement and believe this is nothing more than a fabrication to take over the Calhoun Township Board. I wish it could be a fair board, but I can tell it's not. So that concludes my opinions and statements on what's happened here. And
No other questions reference that. Just if anything comes up with the vault thing, that's the only other part.
yeah, let's go and see if we can get to the
Let's see what's going on with that.
see what's going on with that. So, the officers here, Lori said that Greg's just a citizen, he's not the deputy clerk.
Well, I'm clerk,
You're the
and
clerk.
he's my deputy.
Which, like that, I'm the neutral party, and I've got that's something that'll be taken care of tonight in the
guess
meeting, I guess.
That
Yeah.
there's a
So I'm not
sign
going to be issuing
But
anybody
I
out.
have fiduciary duties to make sure that this election
It's on
is.
video.
And when they didn't vote me out, I'm still
You're
like
still
have my
clerk.
fiduciary duties to do this election stuff. If I'm not here doing the election stuff, then I will be in trouble. Right? That's how I see it. So until they relieve me, of my fiduciary duties, I'm still clear.
You got the supervisor backing you, and that's who I go with. I got one saying one saying the other.
So
It'll
what
get
do you
taken
do?
care of tonight.
Yeah, that's how
There's nothing
see
I can do.
Right. Well, I mean,
It won't be taken care of until it'll have to be finalized or figured out whatever's going on with, I think, the meeting tonight.
that's as far as I know. I'm not trying to.
No, go ahead.
I'm not trying to start anything. Like I said,
No,
I
that's
have
fine.
fiduciary duties.
Yep,
I'm
yep,
legally
you're fine.
required to take
Like
care
I said,
of this election
I've got
stuff.
two different sides,
Yeah.
one different than the other. It's going to stay until tonight's meeting.
Okay.
So
Figure it
can
out
you
and-
point to where Lisa Urick was? Can you please, Greg?
How's it going?
Okay, I walked in here,
Yep.
grabbed this book, and she was standing right there.
Okay.
I don't believe she even come in here. I grabbed this book, and we walked out, and went to the desk, and she wanted to look at something, so she did.
What did she ask for?
She was asking to see when Brian Waldy was sworn in.
Now my other question, because they fear that she took photographs. Are photographs allowed to be taken, or is that something that cannot be taken from the threshold of this doorway?
As far as I know, photographs can be
Photographs
taken.
can be
Okay.
taken.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
public.
It's
There's
all
nothing
Right.
private.
All right.
It's just she just can't cross this threshold, is what it is. She
I
has to
don't
stay
believe
on
so.
this side. Not without somebody with her.
Not without
Yeah.
somebody with her. I know this as a private citizen. When I was here, I was let into this vault many times.
Okay.
And I'm going to say probably all of 30.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I don't think she even stepped in there because I walked in. She wanted the book of oaths. I grabbed the book of oaths. We turned around, walked out.
Okay.
If she did, she made maybe one step in, but I was in here all the time.
Yeah, Charlie made statements that he believes it was voted on that your resignation was
Yeah.
accepted. And I under the
Whatever,
court of law.
whatever the law tells me to do, but I'm trying to follow the law to the best of my ability, especially
I
with this
can't make that
election stuff.
decision.
Okay, so
With everything that I have, it's just it's a
So-
I
complete
think they're
form.
fabricating. I believe they're fabricating stuff right now.
I
We're being recorded on the body cam, so
Okay,
that's
yeah,
why
I don't-
everything I care about, I've made many statements, and I'm willing to, like I told Deputy Piccittino, I am fully prepared to fight this in court.
Yeah, I mean, I did give them my resignation. The way that it goes is you get a motion and then you get a second on the motion, but the action is the vote. So you can't take action unless it was voted on. From my perspective, I was not released of my duties, so I still have fiduciary duties for this election, especially. So that's how I'm standing. If
I'm gonna make one more statement. When Kayla brought in the resignation, it was December 8th. Greg worked December 9th at the order of, who ordered you to work on December 9th? The treasurer?
She really never ordered me, but when I came in, she wanted me to give her all of the passwords for all the things that we do there. And then once I gave her the password, she said, "We don't need you anymore."
So for 4.5 hours you did that.
Yeah.
On December 9th.
On December 9th.
So if the resignation went into effect at midnight, which is the legal thing, on December 8th,
Yep.
he could not have done what she asked him to do, and he could not have been paid. So I want you to go in there before you leave. I want you to ask the deputy or the treasurer if she had him do stuff for 4.5 hours on December 9th before you leave, because that is a major factual.
She already did say.
She did?
She said that he came in December 9th and relayed passwords and that. So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to see that payroll, because the payroll is not here. She took over she actually had you allow her to do electronic fund transfers, which is against the bill resolution. Is that not correct? For her to do electronic fund transfers?
I don't know if she's doing any, because that's what she's been complaining about for all along, because everything has been done wrong. She didn't want them done anymore. The only ones that I think we have to do is what they call the EFTPS, and then it's taxes that we have to do after a payroll. That has to be done electronically.
Okay.
And I give her the passwords on how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I do believe in the opinion of the clerk's office, because you have everybody here right now, the bill pay resolution puts a tremendous hardship on doing your job. Is that not correct?
yeah.
Yeah. And how many times, Kayla, when I came back from my vacation from hunting, you immediately gave me a document that showed that you were requesting bill payment either on the 17th of November or the 18th of November. Is that correct? To pay bills, because you were in a wreck. You were just upset that you couldn't pay.
I can't tell you what date it was. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it was immediately, because there was so many.
So many bills
Yeah.
piling up. Now, when you take away statutory duties from an office like this, Greg, in all of your years as clerk, have you ever witnessed anything as such?
No, in 17 years that I was a clerk, we got along really good. Everything worked smooth until we got a new treasurer.
So, I mean, there's a common denominator here that has gone on for years here and tried to break up much of the situations in this office and relationships to try to get things to come to a narrative that is only her narrative. I believe that the deputy treasurer that's in there right now, after getting applications, his application came in for Kayla's resignation spot. So when it comes down to that, I do have an issue with that because we never had issues in this facilitating bills or even talking to attorneys before this situation. So the chaos that's happened at Calhoun Township, whether it be the crematorium or anything between the board, the chaos came after these resolutions came and stripped two people of their statutory duties wrongfully. And that is not a legal happening. And our past attorney, Mike Homier, when we found out that he was not allowed to work for us anymore in the township, he says, your township will regret this because of who we hired, Fahey Schultz. When he stated that, I didn't realize what was going on, but when they passed a transparency resolution to take the lawyers away from me, he said it was unlawful immediately. For one thing, they did this during a special meeting, and me and Kayla didn't see these before the special meeting, but they brought it in and asked to amend the special meeting agenda on October 22nd. And we didn't see it, we just got it dropped to us, so okay. Didn't think it was anything that was going to be really, but deliberations between three board members had to have happened, Mike said, to know what was in that resolution to pass it. So that violated, he said, the Open Meetings Act. And now with him being a legal person in our township and giving that advice and that statement, I was just going through with Reverend Campbell, you know, when I first seen this transparency resolution and it went through, I sent also text messages through to Laura Genovich, who was here for the Special Assessment District. When the Special Assessment District happened, they were, meaning Charlie and Lori, were coming saying, you don't have the authorization for postage to send these out. Is that correct, Kayla?
No.
They came right after you, stating that there was things that were unlawful that you were doing without getting okayed.
Yeah. Which
And
wasn't true.
And which was not true. The attorney said it was in the Special Assessment District resolution for the postages and the sending. So a lot of this stuff happened as retaliatory efforts that were to a special assessment district that were trying to pay for the fire department activities and equipment and personnel. So we were unfunded for those activities. When it comes to those activities, it's very important to this township. We love our fire department. It's a big part of our community. But when it comes down to being harassed by one office here, it's hard to carry out township business.
Oh, definitely hard.
You know, and do I think that Greg Petremo or Kayla Schlander did anything wrong in any way? No. She's very new to her job, but still, she tries hard. She's a hard worker. He is too. They work good together. Are there problems that exist between reconciliation of the treasurer's office and the clerk's office? That is correct. On the books, there is reconciliation problems, but we have had a clerk from another township, treasurer from another township come in and looked at the books, and he's from a small township in Midland, and he's a long time accountant, like 30-year accountant. It took him 18 months to fix books in a small township to reconcile. So to expect that from a new clerk who has not that accounting experience is not right. But anything that man asked her to do in the computer, he came to me and told me, he goes, Brad, anything I asked her to do, she's capable of doing.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to rights and wrongs, there's a lot of rights here in this township, but there's an office down the hallway, 2 doors on the right, that's wrong. And that's the way that I
He's
feel.
trying to put a stop to everything. Yeah. But
It's control. It's the power of
like I
dominance.
said, for 18 years, everything worked really great here until she got in office. And then it's all topsy-turvy.
Yeah. So
I mean, I am just trying to follow the law to the best of my ability and to the best of my
You
understanding.
don't have a problem with me. It's because, like I said earlier, I'm trying to figure out, I've got her saying one thing, supervisor saying another. It's not up for me to decide.
yep. No.
Yeah, no, me as clerk, I never got relieved of my duties. So I am still responsible for this election. If I drop the ball on that, that is my fiduciary duty. It does come back to me because
Then
in
you could get yourself in trouble.
accordance to
Right.
MTA, I was never relieved from my duties.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Nope. I am fully supportive of the clerk's office. And how's this? You don't see us going around complaining about the treasurer's office.
I like to.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where,
I guess the meeting tonight is going to be interesting. So,
but it is, I know Charles said, the video could have been altered. That's on Facebook. I don't believe that for a minute of the vote that was taken. But I believe that there was not a roll call vote. I have 2 attorneys from the MTA stating that a motion should be reread and then voted upon after discussion. I assure you, I swear on the Holy Bible, that never happened. A roll call or an all in favor never happened. And that is the proper process. Was there an all in favor? Did you hear an all in favor?
no,
Did you hear a roll call?
no.
Therefore, null and void. And I will
So
stand by
I
that.
do not believe I was relieved from my duties. It's,
Nope. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
From
So
there.
this will be something.
Thank you.
sorry.
So Charlie, one last question, because this is how roll calls are done. Did you witness an all in favor or a roll call? There's only 2 ways it can happen. Which one did you witness?
I'm gonna make this really clear. Okay, what is going on right now is a bunch of baloney.
Which part?
A resume got turned in. We dealt with this in the previous administration on 2 different occasions and then wanted to rescind it. Okay, so at this immediate point, sorry to tell you, when I hear that I did this or I did that, no.
Was there an all in favor or a roll call vote? Was the motion read and then a roll call?
You basically made a broadcast today. This is a fact. You shared how this person and that person has spoke against the previous or pending clerk at this time. You know what? I didn't speak against. I'm not speaking for. We'll have a meeting tonight.
Was there
I was
a roll
accused
call
of violations
or an all
of
in
the
favor?
Open Meetings Act. There were no violations of the Open Meetings Act, only between your ears at this point. I did not, nor did I ever have where there was more. And right now, we're in a violation of the Open Meetings Act. Because if the clerk is still here, she's in the room. So
You're correct.
there you go. No comment. I'm done. I'm not doing it. She's standing right there. So when you accuse me over there of violating the Open Meetings Act, and I know I never have,
You were,
she's standing right here.
so you heard what we were doing there?
No, I went and I got my copy and I come back, and that's right when you said I violated the
only
Open
thing
Meetings
I'm
Act.
asking-
I'm done. I'm
So
done.
there wasn't no roll call or there was no all in favor?
I'm done.
That's the factual
Here's
statement.
the deal. Legal will tell you yes, no, 5 words or less. And I have a legal right at this point in time. You know what? Everybody seems to tell me what they think I did. Do me a big favor. You know, do me a favor.
That's for sure.
I'm just going to, she said check video.
Well, you know,
My main thing is if they crossed in, that's what you need, but I'll just review that and then I'll be out of here.
Hey, hold on.
Oh,
This is what I know. Because I've not watched any video. So I'm going to pull up the recording. This is what I know.
By that time, we're gonna have that house, the whole house in AD.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have you.
See.
I told her I had a feeling something was happening. I had a feeling. Internal desk that have made it impossible for me to clerk of code. I didn't see the date on me when we started talking to Don. Yes.
As such, I have some serious ask for another one. It hasn't even been do it for this purpose when they submit the site plan. In addition to that, from 2018, on that this time, clearly it has an action being given that bill.
Roll call. He was doing what Don handled. He's the hired planner by up. Don said, you know, I too bad we can't believe what you say either. Kayla and Commission. This decision comes at board members and Coquitlam Township residents. Effective immediately, I am resigning from my position as clerk of Coquitlam, County of Bay, Michigan. I also immediately resign from my position on Planning Commission. This decision comes after ongoing and unacceptable conditions within the workplace that have made it impossible for me to continue. The lack of professionalism, respect, and support from board members has created an environment that I can no longer tolerate or be a part of. I will go as far to say that I believe I am been subjugated to sabotage after I was appointed to the Planning Commission. The only reason I lasted as long was because of the support I received from the supervisor, my deputy, and front desk. I will not resign for any transition or handover period. My employment with the municipality ends as the delivery of this letter. Serving the residents of Coquitlam has been a privilege, but internal work environment has left me with no other choice but to step away immediately. I ask the board to accept my resignation on this day of December 8th, 2025. Sincerely, Kayla Schneider.
I make a motion to accept the resignation without actually accepting the wording of the letter. Nice job on it, though.
Nice
Anybody
job,
want to second that?
Second motion, accepting the resignation.
Yes.
Now we're in discussion. And, so, talking with Katie Zanotti last week, I had told her I had a feeling something was happening. So I told her I haven't received the resignation, but she hasn't shown up for work for days. So she says she's at home, don't feel good. So I went there and asked her, you know, protocols. I said, we have an election coming up. I don't want the township to be, you know, in a bad predicament. What do we do here? So there's a lot of different issues, including payroll and other things that are happening within the township now. But she did make a statement that concerned me, and that was that Charlie was in a few months ago and asked what happens if the clerk resigns. Well, it ends up being at about the same time when she says a few months. that she was put on the planning commission. Now, did she get put on the planning commission? She asked to be. She was wanting to be elected again. She wanted experience. So to me, this is heartbreaking because I'm going to tell you what. If there was anything wrong with Kayla Schlander, she had too big of a heart.
All right, so let me just jump in, because I had a conversation with Kayla when you decided to appoint her to the planning commission, and I talked to her and I said, Kayla, this really is not a good idea. You need to learn your job before you try to learn zoning. Before you try to learn all this other part, you need to learn your job first. I understand you want to branch out, but you need to get good at what you do first. And so I checked, because, you know, word was going around, apparently, that she was going to resign tonight before we were notified. Kind of interesting. So I actually checked to see how much she had actually been doing in the system. And I just found it to be kind of interesting. So the clerk's office is responsible for accounts payable, responsible for payroll, and has some things to do in the general ledger. Those are 3 different applications that we have. My part in those, well, a little bit more in general ledger, but my part in those has to do with reconciling. Reconciling each month, I have to clear out everything that comes out of the payroll check, every AP check, so on and so forth, and do some general ledger postings, journal postings. So I actually looked, 4/15, I believe, is when she was actually appointed in, and she had Greg in there, and we were told that with all the years of experience that Greg had, that he would be great at training her and getting everything just working fantastically. So in the time from 4/15 to 12/3, there were a total of 527 records created in the general ledger system. I actually went down and saw how many were hers. Out of 527, 34 were hers. That is just over 6% of the work that was happening in the general ledger. Payroll from 4/15 to 12/1/25, there was 1,528 records during that time. Of those, she was responsible for 37 out of 1,528. Just over 2% of the activity happening in payroll. In accounts payable, 4/15/25 to 12/8/25, there was 1,895 records created. Of those, Kayla's name was on 73 of them, which is almost 4% of the work that was completed in 8 months. So, had she actually been taking the time to do her job and to learn her job, she probably wouldn't have been so stressed out. Instead of having Greg do it and then not being able to fix the errors that were made, which were brought up many, many times, dating all the way back to when she started, that still haven't been fixed.
So, Mr. Shana, with you stating that, it brings something up. Your niece who worked for the township and was your deputy treasurer, you told me how you just stacked them up and let her do them at night. What do you think the percentage would be if you were to look in the mirror?
Well, I'll tell you, I always have, thank you. I do all the reconciliations. You don't even know what happens in my office. You're too busy doing it.
See, the thing is, I never had to work for our township. We passed it. And it's getting way out of hand with every one of these frickin' meetings, and it's gotta stop.
And regarding Kayla, it's kind of null and void to bring up whatever percentage is not because she's done.
No,
Does it make sense for you guys to bicker back and forth about it?
Is it null and void to bring up the emotional attachment and how it didn't work out because it was so sad too?
Hey, that's it. I got nothing
Well,
on
we got
that.
both sides of the equation.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
And you look at Greg and Sherry. How much work did Greg do when he was the treasurer, the clerk for how long? And he was doing Sherry and how much did Molly? I know it.
My
Molly
years
was
back
doing
with
all
Roy and everybody was, this didn't happen, we didn't have input to your conversations. So I'm just gonna say that, I wish we could act to that, and that starts here, that you rise above each other's silliness, right? And you are professional, but I opened my mouth because that was number one. You didn't
So-
do that. Yes.
So, we accepted the clerk's resignation?
Yes, but I want to make a comment.
See?
When I went over
No,
to
look,
our county
didn't.
clerk's office,
you didn't
I
vote.
went
That's
there
your
because
assumption.
The comment
didn't
was
vote.
made.
That's your assumption.
Special assessment, millage.
You just said you're recording. You claimed Lisa's.
$15,000 for a special.
I'm just
election.
saying, here's the recording.
There was no all in favor. There was no roll call.
So what, you failed to do your job?
Yes. Yes. That is 100% what I'm saying.
Mr. Eddy,
That's it.
a person resigned. A person
And
resigned.
you have to do it correctly.
A person resigned. There you go.
They didn't, it wasn't accepted. That's the whole
We're
thing.
working
Charlie.
on
That's
an
the
election and we
reality.
didn't do that properly.
What do you mean?
We haven't had any meetings of the election board. Come on. There's so many
So
not
what does
rights
that have
here
to do? What
that
does
it's a
that have to
mess.
do with? I just went through a recording with the MTA, and they told you listen to how a motion's supposed to go. It's either supposed to have a roll call or an all in favor. There was no roll call,
We have
no all in favor.
Brad,
I stand by.
we have a legal meeting tonight.
Yeah, and you guys are going to manipulate that too.
Oh, that's the sad part. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna review for the jobs.
Yeah. No, I'm.
Yep. Okay.
I'm pleased with what you just listened to because you are a professional.
I have no
witness.
issue with what
You
You know
are
what?
a professional witness. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
That is correct.
And I have not lied to you, and that is
I-
correct. And I let you listen to a recording of the day's event from 12/8 from that exact meeting, Mr. Eddy.
You said you voted. You told the officer you voted.
Don't put words in my mouth, Mr. Eddy.
You said you voted.
Don't put words in my mouth, Mr. Eddy.
You didn't vote. You claimed that a video call.
I'm so sorry, Tom. Can you give me just a minute? I'll be right back with you.
Are you able to pull the video for York?
Yes.
I just want to see where she was at.
Greg let her in. This is, let me just back it up a little bit. Go back, I just want to go back a little bit. Maybe a little bit more, we'll do it a little faster. So there's Greg in there. See, she just came out of the vault. This is going backwards. But you can see they're both standing outside the vault while he unlocks it. So that was Charlie walking through, and he's the one that originally said, she's in the vault. So after she talked with this one and started making copies for her, so she could, which I told her not to do, by the way, because of some legal stuff we have, right? Then, I'm sorry, I let it go too long. Go this way. So she goes in there and tells her everything she wants, and she provides it. She had no authorization to do that and was told not to give out documents. She didn't check with any elected official about giving out documents. She just did it. And then they walk right in there and he lets her in. She got papers out of it and was in there. No private citizen is allowed access to our vault.
Has she been in there before?
No.
I'm being told on the other side that private citizens do have access to paperwork that's within. They just can't enter inside unless somebody accompanies them.
I don't believe that to be the case.
Okay.
She's an agitator. She's an agitator that he's utilizing as a proxy.
Gotcha.
That just is what it is. That's what he's doing. Now I do want to tell you that he gave them keys back when they didn't deserve them.
Okay.
The keys that they used to have are still in my desk drawer.
Okay.
He gave them new sets of keys, including vault keys, which he's not even supposed to have.
In reference to that matter, obviously you're saying one thing, Brad's saying that they're not. Mm-hmm. That's going to have to be taken care of in tonight's.
And it will be. And I'm sure that you talked to Charlie.
Yep.
The other board member would like to speak to you. He
Okay.
asked me to give you his phone number and his address. He would like you to talk to him.
Okay.
And I can
What
go
is
in-
everybody planning on happening with this?
We're going to appoint a new clerk because we
Okay.
accepted it.
What about law enforcement wise? What's everybody planning with law enforcement wise? Because this is just a giant civil matter at this point in time
I
between
understand.
everybody.
But they do not have a legal right to a municipal office. It's a public office, and at this point, they are private citizens per our legal. And that they told us to call you and have
But
them
I don't
removed.
have control over that
Yeah,
part.
I
That's the
gotcha.
thing. That's something that is going to have to be figured out within
Yeah.
here because I can't step on the line and say, yeah, that's true, they can't be in here. I got the
Right.
supervisor saying one thing, you guys in legal are saying another. That's something that have to be taken care of on
Mm-hmm.
the board. And then if it continues, then it's a different situation with that.
Okay. And that's, we actually, I already showed you, I think. I already showed you. Oh, there's what Steve Gray's putting online about me. He's part of this too. He used to be the deputy supervisor.
Gotcha.
Completely unstable, but that's just me. So there are, this was from a transcription from a recording that was taken on a township device. And this was during the meeting in question.
Okay.
And then this was after that. This is the other trustee who wants to speak to you. He said. He announced that we had, and he moved on and made another motion. All the subsequent motions were unanimous as far as how to deal with the vacancy. The problem is that, just one second, I just don't want to
you're
go
fine.
back. Tom, I'm so sorry. Can I call you back in just a minute? I don't want to leave you hanging. Okay. So maybe it's not updated by our assessor yet. That's good information. Let me do some digging and I will call you back at this number. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So let me dig and I'll call you back. Okay, and I'm so sorry for the wait. Okay. Okay. All right, let me see what I can find. I will definitely call you back, okay? You bet. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. All right. So this, again, was an official township device that was recorded. That was just transcribed. That shows that that was the intent of the board, the unanimous votes afterwards. Again, back up that it was the intention of the board to move forward, including him. He has since released information to Lisa Urich about who applied for the job. He also released that information to the previous clerk about who applied for the job, which is confidential information, but he's leaking that out and trying to make a big case about it because, I mean, he's releasing it, so I guess I don't have to keep, no point in keeping it a secret at this point because my deputy applied, who is qualified. He applied. He's a citizen of the township. It was advertised. He had every right to apply, but now he's trying to twist that into something. It's the freaking tax season. Do you think I really want to lose a deputy? But he had every right to apply. And now they're trying to twist that into something completely different on social media and make it appear as though there's this big plan going. We just want a clerk that can actually do the job. And I'm sorry, she can't. She's had 8 months. She can't do the job. She's left us in a really bad position. The township people are paying twice the annual salary for that position just to shore her up, more than twice, just to shore her up because she can't do the position on her own. And that's a problem. And it's been a problem for months. So I will give you the information for the other board member who does want to speak with you. I can just give you his phone number if you just want to. Yeah, and I think, I mean, he's just down the road, I believe. So let me just pull him up quick.
Because pretty much what I'm going to end up doing with this is just with everybody talking with everything like that. I'm just going to do a quick little, it'll be like a civil report.
Okay.
And then anybody that wants the body cam footage, of course, it's going to be, able to be FOIA if anybody wants the body cam footage for everybody that said whatever pieces they said.
Okay.
With that.
All right. And I do believe that if I read his message correctly, I do believe he's at home, which is just
Okay.
a Frazier.
Okay. All
So
right.
he's not great. I'm sorry for pulling you into this.
All right. Hey, it is what it is.